Speaking of pets, what have we got that we could talk about that has happening today? Anything we want? Any questions we want to ask? Any of them that you could think of? Can you think of anything we would need to know about Chatsworth that you can remember? Fond memories? What was your favorite thing to do after school?
I think the horses and the cookie jar theater.
Yeah.
Parsons and all the stuff we did there.
That was very important. We should have mentioned that.
The part you gave us a photograph showing.
There was a cookie jar theater.
Yeah,
Okay, let's talk about that because we do have a photograph about that.
I never heard of it.
Well, the Parsons were just wonderful people, and they had a daughter, Sally Ann, and they were very interested in working with the youth of the community, and I didn't appreciate it. I just thought adults like to do that kind of thing. But they put on wonderful plays, and they taught us elocution and a lot of things about the theater that I would never have known that I found were useful in later life. And I don't know, were you involved?
We used to go to the place. I remember going.
Where did
My
this
neighbor was
happen?
on
Where
They
was
had it mostly up at their house is where it started.
one.
And then,
Did they use the front of the house?
Yeah, it was behind the house, and the hill kind of came down.
yeah, and then,
Yeah, and it
Farragut
was kind of
family.
narrow.
Yeah.
but it was a gorgeous house, and Sally Ann just walked away and left it. I've never understood. She never came back or anything.
She went to Broadway, didn't she?
Yeah, she is
Costume design.
the stage design and things like that, she and her husband.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it was a big part
first. They had some
Every
boys.
day you went after
Yeah.
school,
Difficult.
and we worked on plays and set decorations and that kind of thing. And then my other thing was horses. And
And I mean, a lot of
The poor
really
man
famous movies. He's
was a
in
wonderful actor, but by the way he looked, he was sort of categorized. There wasn't much he could do, but he was very good. He took us back one time. He was in As You Like It. It came from Broadway,
Uh-huh.
and he came out here with Katharine Hepburn, and I at the time didn't appreciate it, but he took us backstage and we met her and went to lunch and
Neat.
all of that. But
Well, they sometimes they had plays at the school. When I was here,
yes, they rented. They did one. Tom Sawyer was
Yeah.
at the school. They did.
Remember when he jumped off the stage and scared everyone?
Yeah, he was Indian Joe, and he had the knife and jumped off. And this woman completely freaked because he was a very good actor and very evil looking, if he wished to be.
and they were
And he
very
had
careful.
an artistic temperament, and he would
Yelled
get
at
quite upset with the kids and yell, but you always knew he was kind underneath, so it was
He
okay.
was just
And
frustrated.
they'd been
They
on
did it-
Broadway and in the movies for a long time, hadn't they? The
Yeah,
two-
yeah.
Colette was her name. Milton and Colette Parsons.
And that's where they'd met back in Boston on the stage back there somewhere. But she never really worked that much, I don't think, in the movies. But their house was filled with memorabilia, more Broadway type of things and pictures and things like that. And they raised Sally Ann that's what she was going to go into.
Oh, they did from the
Yeah.
beginning. She was a cute little girl. And
She and Susan Pettibone.
Yes.
Mrs. Kibbe was her grandmother. And they lived at the corner. The house is still there. I guess that would be Andorra, right off of Topanga.
oh yeah,
And we met a lot there
did you?
and did things.
And when they did anything, it was a complete production too. That's what I
Yes,
remember. Costumes and everything. You did it.
And
just
it
like-
was very professionally done. It wasn't done like a children's production. They had one at the Roy Rogers, the Chamber of Commerce Hall,
Oh, did they?
and they had so many kids wanted to be in that one that they had alternating
Okay.
roles. And one night you were the backstage and the prompter and things, and the next night you were on, and with a friend.
Now, let me just jump in. What year? About what year would this be? get it all back in
Well, they
perspective
were still
for me.
here in 52 when I came, and that's where I saw in 50, well, somewhere in the early 50s.
Tom Sawyer was
Tom
probably
Sawyer.
in
So that would be 40, 52.
about 52.
Yeah.
And then this other one was a little bit later, more like 55, I think, in there.
Yeah.
And I can't remember some of the original plays they did out of Miser's. That house is still there, also out of their garage, and that was Little Women. And when we would get together, Susan and Sally Ann and myself and Susan Miser, we'd always kind of play, you know, everybody would take a different role and we'd play that. And so they decided to make a play with it. And all the kids in town, Brian McGinnis was in it. And I don't know, I can't remember who all.
I remember Johnny Stracco was my neighbor, and he was in one of them. He had to wear tights with Peter Pan or something like that. I don't, but it was one they did up at the house.
Yeah.
And but it was
a
quite a thing. It was some like summer stock. It was
Yeah, I think that would have been just about the same as what you've heard people say about summer stuff.
But it was an important part in town of the kids.
It really was. I mean,
And then horses. We all had horses and rode, and there were the Major twins that had
oh yeah.
lots of ponies.